He is a Star Wars fan. His knowledge is so huge. And then because he made Episode 7, his knowledge of that is so huge. The linking of it all together, I think, is amazing. And with Chris, who is like nerd, like I saw him with 10 versions of, what was the book? It was some canonized universe, something or other that I'd never seen before, and he had 10 versions of it. So his knowledge of that side is so huge. The combination, I think, is great. So Chris has these ideas, and then JJ sort of gets, I feel like JJ gets it to the thing of us all understanding it. Because obviously JJ created it, so his dialogue really is what I understand. So I think it's a very worthy ending. I hope obviously other people do. But the feeling on set is one of joy, and I think everybody here feels really good about what we're doing. And I think that will go onto the screen. It's been really fun because I hadn't properly worked with Oscar before. We'd done like 2 tiny scenes together. And so when you come in, I think the first time you see us on screen, we're arguing. And JJ's thing was, it's been like a year, I think, since The Last Jedi, a year or 2 or something. And so he was basically like, your relationship has grown off screen. It's just the audience haven't seen it. And to come into a bit of a frictious friendship is really fun, because that's how friends are. They're like, you're annoying, shut up, I'm trying to do the right thing, so are you. And I really liked that. It was really fun playing that with Oscar too. And then John always being the guy that's like, oh my God, can we move on? It was great. It was great. And there are moments in it that are so sweet, so sweet. And there was a scene in the film where we sort of just hug for ages. And it was weird because we did it months ago, so we weren't even close to finishing, but it was so moving. And I think really that was the thing that made me think, this is the last one. Like, it's crazy. It was so sweet because I felt a real, his vibe is really nice. And then it was really sweet because we got out of the speeder and he was showing me pictures of his granddaughter, and he said, I reminded her of him. I reminded him of her. And I was like, oh, that's nice. Because I sort of felt very like moved being with him. And then I thought, oh, maybe, I guess this is why, because there was some sort of connection. But he's such a suave man. He's just great. And I think in this, it is really moving, the stuff he has. It's great. And then it's really moving all of a sudden. Yeah, it's great. It's back. In terms of the acting stuff, I always knew that I would have a great time working with him, but the fight was bit scary. But then once we got into it, it was pretty cool because I think we'd done a couple things together. We had done scenes together, but the fight, because it took so long, it's not often that you shoot something for 6 days. It was great in terms of communication, because I'd be like, oh, if you could just move a bit that way, and he'd be like, oh, if we could just start. It was really nice to be able to have that relationship, because you suddenly think, oh, it's more like a choreographed dance thing. And it felt like it really paid off, because I think we both really knew what we were doing and how we were feeling, and it was great. And then we picked up a scene yesterday that we had done his version of, and working with him is great. I think it will be really moving. I found it's really emotional for me, at least, and I think it has been for other people. But it's really big themes that are sort of, if you took away the space element, it's just like people trying to figure it out and confronted with these really difficult obstacles. And that, I think, is the transcending thing of you could take this all away, and obviously the space thing is the thing, it's Star Wars. But it's these really moving small and big stories that are all interlinked, and how one thing cause and effect, like one thing, how that's affecting the fate of the galaxy. So hopefully people will feel that watching it.
Ladies and gentlemen, you're watching Hey You Guys!
Hey, you guys, huh?
Hey, you guys.
Is that from the Goonies?
It is indeed, yes.
Nice. Hey